Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time zone it is, wherever you in the world. It is your Lore Saviour, out and about on the very last day of 2025 in the year of Aurtakis, where I am enshrouded by chilly-ass fog and ice. I don't actually think I've done one of these walk and talk video vlogs out in the fog before, which makes this kind of special really, that we're ending 2025 by popping a cherry. Lovely stuff. Seemingly nebulous comments aside, I actually want to talk to you about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. A bit of the anime, a bit of the manga as well, specifically the Toon Monster archetype, which I've talked a little bit about before on the channel, back when I did my unboxing video of the cartoon gangster TTRPG Hell of a Town, the video for which is going to appear in a corner right about now, and I'll obviously talk about the context of that here, as it's the same fucking conversation, I guess, and just see how far I can alienate my fan base talking about another hobby that seemingly less people on this channel are interested in. Who knows, I could be absolutely wrong with this. But there is a slight horror theme with this that I really enjoyed. So let us start at the beginning, because we should always start with things at the beginning. It's always the best place to start. Now, I was part of that generation of kiddos that got first introduced into Yu-Gi-Oh! Back with those starter decks with Yugi, Maximilian Pegasus, Joey, Seto Kaiba, and we all had lots of fun at school, like trading, collecting booster packs, etc. and so forth. And I was sort of doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right up until year 8 at secondary school, which was, I don't know, I must have been about 13, 14, you know, early teenagerish, right? And the reason why I started playing the cards at secondary school is because the bullies of my year were starting to go around ripping people's cards up, and I didn't particularly want that to happen, so I just didn't bring the fucking cards in again and just sort of left my collection at home, for which I suppose a lot of my collection are fake cards. If I had a look at them now, I'd probably know a bit better. But, you know, that shit went around like a clap at my school. It was just difficult to tell, just fake cards was rife amongst the nerd fandom. Now, I knew how to play. I knew about tribute summons and special summons. I actually tried to play the game properly. But there were some people like a year or two above me who got real fucking snotty. Oh, you're not adhering to the ban list, which I've always thought was like a really unfair, stupid thing. Yeah, you've designed cards badly and people are exploiting things, but it kind of, especially with how things are with trading cards today, where people invest quite a lot of money in like optimizing their decks and so forth, and of course this was a thing back in the day as well, that it just becomes really disheartening. Like, there was something with Magic the Gathering that happened earlier this year, well, early in 2025 I want to say. I actually want to say it was like July 2025 where with Magic the Gathering there were some people really pissed off because their favourite cards, you know, were now banned as acquaintances of mine, and I felt really bad for them, even though there was a part of me that found it a little bit funny, because at the end of the day, I am something of a consensual arsehole. But going back to Yu-Gi-Oh! There was one archetype of card that I preferred more than anything else, despite the fact that I heavily relied on a machine deck, using my card Machine King, and Jinzo, I seem to recall, which allowed those cards to be boosted up. I think Jinzo changed. I don't remember exactly what Jinzo did, but Jinzo was a core staple of my deck, as was Machine King, both of which got stolen. Someone was a bit envious about that, I guess. The archetype, of course, being the Toon Monsters, which were first introduced, I believe, in the anime, because you may not be aware, although I feel this is a fairly well-known fact in nerd fandom at this day and age, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga started out being a very different entity altogether. Like, the trading card game, to my knowledge at least, was more of a side plot sort of thing that kind of had its rules explained. It was a bit more of a mature shonen where Yami Yugi, in the first fucking manga, electrocutes some gangsters by leaking a place and just, you know, shocking them that way, which is pretty hard-hitting stuff for fucking kids and teenagers to read. Not that I have a problem with about it, just when I read that I thought that was just so fucking cool. Why do we not get that fucking Yugi in the anime? But the trading card side plot thing took off really well, so I believe what happened then is that the manga was restarted, or like a new timeline or something. I'm not entirely sure about that, but the point is the manga, to begin with, was a different entity to what Yu-Gi-Oh! Would become. And in the first season, it might have been the second one, I don't really remember, of the anime, I'm pretty sure it was the first one, where we have all these different duelists wanting to be the best duelist of this competition, fighting against Maximilian Pegasus, who is the creator of the card game in the fiction, who has this very interesting gimmick where he has these Toon Monsters, amongst other things. And in the anime, the power of the card Toon World stole certain monsters and toonified them and controlled them, creating nightmare-fueled abominations, honestly. Like, I'll show you a video in just a moment of this happening. But we take the classic Yu-Gi-Oh card, Summoned Skull, which kind of looks like that. Really cool, very 90s edgy design. Now let's replace it with Toon Summoned Skull. That's fucking nightmare fuel, and I can kind of understand why the people my year at school weren't too fond of the Toon Monsters, beyond the fact that they were extraordinarily limited. Like, you could only have them on the field if you had the spell card or magic card, depending on how old the card in question is, because spell cards are once magic cards, and now he nearly got sued by the Magic of the Gathering folks, or reasons I think you can understand why. Toon World allowed the Toon Monsters to be on the field, and when that card was on the field, they could attack your opponent's life points directly. And given the fact that the Toon Monsters are kind of big, heavy hitters, like, they would have the same attack and defense as their regular monsters. So, as you've seen on screen, Toon Summoned Skull has the 25 attack points that the regular Summoned Skull had. You also have Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon, probably the most famous of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Well, the regular one is at least, that alongside the Dark Magician. But the Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon looks fucking demented. Like, that looks like pure fucking crack. And, you know, that's just fucking wild. And I absolutely love these designs. They were... how they just twisted that lovely, almost cute and cuddly cartoon vibe that you might remember watching as a fucking toddler. And I'm not talking about the Cartoon Network, so there was a bit more hinged about the 90s and noughties, but, you know, the stereotypical cartoon character vibe, you know, your Tom and Jerry's, your Looney Tunes, etc. and so forth. But now, let's just make them a fucking crack addict. Let's make them absolutely fucking terrifying. Let's actually add in a bit of fucking real world horror examples here. Like, in the anime, it involves taking somebody's monster away and making it a more corrupted creature, because it's sort of implied they've got more like a soul and an essence in the anime, and it really bothers the people who it affects, i.e. Yugi and Kaiba. I'm also like 60-70%, let's go for 69% certain that part of the reason why I became so as queer as I am is because of Maximilian Pegasus. Not because I had a crush on him or anything, although I absolutely loved his hair and I absolutely loved his outfit. I wish I had the Millennium Eye. Okay, so maybe I might have had a crush on Pegasus, but I meant more... I meant more from his certain flamboyancies and mannerisms that may or may not have affected my personality at a wee young age. Just listen to the motherfucker.
Tell me something, my old friend. Did you like watching cartoons in your youth? Is that a no? Kaiba, you're even more cold-hearted than I thought. For me, they were the absolute best. And none was closer to my heart than the misadventures of one tricky hare. I am speaking, of course, of Funny Bunny, such a clever rabbit, forever evading rough McDog and his long paw of the law. Oh, how I'd spend hours watching their never-ending antics and perpetual game of hide-and-seek. Dark Rabbit attack!
Bad hair day.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, awaken! And cross the threshold into Toon World! Meet the new and improved Blue Eyes Toon Dragon!
No, you've stripped him of his pride.
What's the matter, Yugi boy? Don't you have a sense of humor? Manga Ryuran! Attack the monster Yugi has in defensive mode! Nasty Nostril Flame Attack! Looks like your giant soldier of stone couldn't stand the heat. Aren't my tunes simply marvelous?
So here we have horrors that involves the lack of consent and the lack of respect for autonomy and ownership of the self, which is a pretty hard, heavy theme to throw in a fucking kid show, even if it's something as silly as like cartoon monsters that spawn due to technology from a device. But you can see how much it pisses the characters off because it concerns the characters, because, you know, I've already said all of this. But I absolutely love the designs and I absolutely love the concept, and that is something that has always stuck with me in my mind. And whenever I'm running horror these days, I guess I'm subconsciously just have that at the back of my mind, because horror is one of the things I love about it, is that it is the lack of control. It's what people get a bit of a thrill out of it, that you go and watch these characters just slowly lose the ability to defend themselves, the lack of control, and, you know, all those other horror topics that we've talked about before. But it's done in a space where people feel safe. And I know there's going to be some people annoyed about that because I'm sounding like some sort of woke millennial snowflake, but it's fucking common sense. Like similar sort of adrenaline rushes, like going to an amusement park. Like, you get the thrill that you're going through up and down loop to loop at these really high fucking speeds. But there's also the awareness, big or small, that you might fucking die. And that sort of adds to the excitement as well for people who enjoy those sorts of things. I don't like amusement rides because I'm not great with heights, and I don't like the idea of pursuing something that may fucking kill me. At least with a TTRPG or video game, I have that detachment knowing that it's not fucking real. But of course I'm not wanting to play down like the actual triggers and the traumas and actually being frightened, moved, spooked, whatever the horror actually brings. You know, as I've talked about many times before in videos and my various little film reviews that I put out on my Letterboxd account and social media, etc. and so forth. Just go and watch any fucking video that I've done, you get a kind of good idea about how I feel about horror as a whole. But going again back to the Toon archetypes, there's just something really fucking creepy about it. Even if you had like a TTRPG or a game where your characters were pulled into like a weird wacky cartoon world and everything just like, well, cracked up, as I keep mentioning, like, you could have some real twisted fun with that. Like, because it's all cartoon characters, all silly bonkers over the top, cartoon characters don't really die, but they obviously feel pain and fail and all the rest of it. Imagine what you could do with a concept like that. Kind of ruins any future games of Toon that I'm going to be running. And it's also influenced how I'm going to run Hell of a Town. Double mentioning of Hell of a Town. And also, as I've mentioned already, horror TTRPGs as a whole. Like, it's a bit rambly, a bit waffly, not really saying all that much, but I just think the Toon Monsters have really engaged my brains in ways that I hadn't realised until fairly recently, and it made me really happy seeing that there were even more Toon cards and more Toon Monsters. Some of them are a bit more friendlier style, clearly warped and distorted, being twisted versions of their regular counterparts, for the most part, because I think some of the effects and whatnot changes, which could be a reflection of the changing times that people may have found them too scary, and now just sort of like desensitize them a little bit. But they're still wacky and they're still bonkers and it still feels distinct and unique, and I just think that's really fucking cool. So if anything I've said has made you think that I'm going to start getting to Yu-Gi-Oh, again and do more Yu-Gi-Oh content, unless there's like some specific instances or things that inspire me, I'm not really. Like, as tempted as I've been is to buy additional cards off of eBay and God knows where else I've been searching, I already spend a lot of money on a nerdy hobby that I don't get to play or run as much as I would like, and I definitely would not with Yu-Gi-Oh, because one of the reasons why I have not come back into it and just kept my ear fairly close to the ground is just how fucking convoluted it is now. Like, but just to give a timeline of things, when I started to nope out, they were introducing Synco monsters or Sync monsters and tuners, like another form of very specific polymerization, which if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, you know all that means. But they've added like these blue cards, these black cards, and it's just a lot. And also every fucking bounce monster looks like a fucking lolly, which is a bit fucking creepy. But that's my thoughts and opinions on these sorts of themes. I would love to hear what you think about Yu-Gi-Oh. Did you enjoy the Toon Monsters? If so, which one was your favourite? I'm actually unsure which one my favourite is. Probably as a basic bitch, I would probably say it is Toon Summon Skull. Although Dark Rabbit, which you saw in the video earlier on, technically counts, but not really because it doesn't have Toon in its name. And if you're interested in Toon-focused TTRPGs, I'm going to leave a link to Hell of a Town for you to go and purchase in the link in the description below. You purchase it with that specific link, I get some of the money back because I'm an affiliate on Drive4RPG, and that sort of coinage will help to support the channel amazingly, he says, failing English. Which is absolutely based because it means that you get books and shit, I get books and shit, and you get content like this for absolutely free. Amazing. If you've got that shit already, want to get something else, what you can do, right, is copy and paste the affiliate code in the description and paste it in the URL of any Drive4RPG purchase before you add to the cart, being books, Game Master Screen, or cards. And that sort of coins will come my way as well, but I can understand if you are unable to do that, or if you came onto this video because you're a Yu-Gi-Oh regular, you're probably spending it on a load of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which isn't really supported with Drive4RPG, unfortunately. So if you can do that, it'd be absolutely great. But if you can't, I understand all the same. But what you should definitely do regardless is give the video a cheeky little thumbs up, subscribe to the Lore Saviour channel, and share this video to any and everyone who loves what I do. And I'll see you on the next upload, wherever that may well be for you. Until next time, farewell.